Imagine walking into a room full of people who think they're better than you, laughing behind your back, testing you like you're some kind of joke, only for them to discover you're the one signing their paychecks. That's exactly what happened at my wife's office party when her smug coworker tried to test me without knowing my true identity. What followed left everyone in that room stunned, including my wife. My name is Daniel, 38 years old, and I've been married to Claire for 10 years. I'm quiet by nature, not the kind of guy who brags about what he does or how much he makes. I've built my business from the ground up, and recently I became the CEO of a mid-sized company. The twist? Claire works at a branch of my company, but she never connected the dots. I'd kept my identity low-key, using my middle name, travelling often, and never flaunting wealth. Claire often talked about her co-workers, especially Derek, the loud, arrogant guy who acted like the life of the party. She told me he was harmless, but always made jokes that cut too close. I didn't think much of it until the night of the office holiday party. The banquet hall was buzzing with chatter, clinking glasses, and people trying too hard to impress. Claire introduced me to a few colleagues, but I could feel the judgment in their eyes. They sized up my plain suit, my quiet demeanour, and assumed I was some average husband, probably dependent on Claire. Then Derek arrived, 6'2", overly confident, with that smug grin plastered on his face. He clapped me on the back like we were old friends. "So this is the mystery husband," he said loudly, making sure everyone around us heard. "Claire doesn't talk about you much." A few co-workers snickered. Claire laughed nervously, tugging his arm. "Derek, stop. Don't start." But he smirked and leaned closer to me. "We like to have fun with the spouses. Just a little test, to see if you've got what it takes." My eyebrow arched. "A test?" He grinned wider. "Yeah, let's say you lost your job tomorrow. How would you take care of Claire? Be honest." The group burst out laughing, waiting for me to squirm. I could see Claire biting her lip, avoiding my eyes. That was the moment I realized she'd been letting them think I was beneath her, maybe even encouraging it. I took a deep breath, then smiled calmly. "That's an interesting question, but before I answer, let me ask you. What do you think I do for a living?" Derek didn't hesitate. "Something small, I guess. Office clerk, maybe retail. Claire's the real breadwinner, right?" Laughter rippled through the group again. Claire's cheeks burned, but she didn't defend me. I pulled my phone from my pocket, opened an email, and handed it to Derek. "Actually, I own the company Claire works for. And that email? It's the quarterly announcement I signed last month." Silence hit the group like a thunderclap. Derek's smirk disappeared. Co-workers shifted uncomfortably, some whispering, others looking anywhere but at me. One woman's wineglass nearly slipped from her hand. Derek's voice cracked. You're the CEO?" I nodded. "Yes, and I don't appreciate games at the expense of my marriage. If you think mocking people is fun, you're in the wrong place." Claire's face turned red, her eyes wide. She grabbed my arm. "Why didn't you tell me you'd do this? Now everyone knows, and I'll be humiliated at work." I turned to her slowly. "Humiliated? Claire, they were mocking me because they thought I wasn't good enough for you. And you let them. You laughed with them." Her mouth opened, but no words came out. The truth was undeniable. The rest of the party was painfully awkward. People tripped over themselves to be polite, suddenly offering me drinks, asking questions about the company, pretending they hadn't been laughing at me minutes earlier. Derek disappeared into the crowd, his ego crushed. That night at home, Claire confronted me again. "You didn't have to humiliate me in front of them. You could have just laughed it off." I stared at her. "Claire, if you'd respected me, they never would have tried that in the first place. You let them think I was beneath you because it made you feel bigger. Tonight wasn't about me proving myself. It was about showing you the truth." She broke down, crying, begging me to understand. But something had shifted. For years I thought Claire had my back. That night I realized she'd rather protect her image at work than protect me. As for Derek, the next week HR opened an investigation into his party games. He no longer works at the company, not because I wanted revenge, but because his behavior showed exactly why he didn't belong. "Claire, our marriage never recovered. We tried counseling, but trust once broken is hard to rebuild. Eventually we divorced. She told me later she regretted everything. How she laughed that night, how she let others diminish me. But by then it was too late. In the end, Derek lost his job, Claire lost her marriage, and I walked away knowing one thing: respect is worth more than appearances. And sometimes the best revenge isn't shouting or fighting, it's letting the truth reveal itself in the most unexpected way. If you like this story, please subscribe and turn on notifications.